What's crack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack, and welcome into My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show. I am your host, Sleezball. This is another podcast episode. We have fantasy football chalk talk here. This is not going to be a draft that we normally do during the week. This is going to be for you guys, for questions you guys have. This is two of the best football minds you could have right here to ask any questions here. We got BigDraftEnergy in the building and Dbro, who needs no introduction. How are we doing, boys? What is good? Finally got him on here.
Trades and things popping off, man. And I can't say they're good, but they're interesting.
Devon Bailey for a 4th-round pick is wild by the Saints. The 49ers just traded for Sky Moore, the 7th-round pick, with all the injuries we got going. So what we're going to do here with the Fantasy Chalk Talk is we are going to I'm going to give a player to Dbro, tell him why, or ask him why he thinks this player is going to pop off, because I don't like this player this year at ADP. And I'm going to start it off with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Super Bowl hangover, A.J. Brown with a hamstring injury, Devonta Smith is down, Dallas Goedert is down, and they have the 4th toughest schedule. Tell me why you still like A.J. Brown Jalen Hurts this year. I don't like
real life.
Hurts. Yes,
like this is the kindest alley-oop a man could ever give. Wow, this is just.
I did not like AJ. I did not like Jalen Hurts this year.
I wish you gave that one to me. Jesus,
that's why I gave it to Dbro.
Is he still gonna operate behind a top 10 offensive line this year? AJ Brown is trending up and he's back at practice. Devonta Smith, I'm not that worried about him as far as being effective and healthy this year. And Dallas Goedert, I mean, unless y'all are missing something, I didn't see that he's hurt. And they're still one of the best offenses in the NFL.
He was down yesterday at practice again, according to the updates, just missing practice again.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now, I did not like Jalen Hurts at ADP.
Man. He's gonna run for 10+ touchdowns. This offense is still gonna be extremely good. AJ Brown he hasn't shown any fall off, and he's still one of the best per route metric wide receivers in the NFL. Sleez, I'm kind of surprised with this.
Like since 2021, 10 rushing touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns, 14 rushing touchdowns, and the tush push is still legal. This is a freaking gimme. This is like the nicest thing that you ever do. Wow.
Where do you have him ranked at, Sleez? If you're out, like, are you?
I have him at quarterback 5, but I don't like him at ADP.
Okay, I mean,
I think you're going to have a Saquon Barkley another monster year, and I don't think he's going to get the 10+ rushing TDs.
But that didn't hurt Hurts last year, did it?
It did not. I mean, he's still produced, but I'm lower on the Eagles this year, and everyone else is higher, and I'm lower.
But like look at it this way. Look at it this way. Like historically, no team has ever run the ball more than the Philadelphia Eagles did last year. So that means that we're going to see at least an increase, whether it be 10%, 15%, 20%, it doesn't matter. We're going to see an increase in
They're going to throw more. Like they are going to throw more.
They have to throw more. And in closer game scripts, just because it's a tough schedule, actually means it's more favorable for Jalen Hurts, because in the 4th quarter, he's going to be putting up fantasy football points in the 4th quarter. I think Jalen Hurts is my QB3, and I wish I had him higher, respectfully.
I just have a very, very bad feeling that you're going to have an A.J. Brown injury this year. I do not like anything about the Eagles passing game with Kellen Moore. I'm telling you, I'm low on the Eagles this year. Everyone's high on the Eagles. I'm not. Hold on.
I want to push back against that.
Go ahead.
I don't think that everybody's high on the Eagles this year. Like, AJ Brown is a back end wide receiver 1. Dallas Goedert is getting drafted as a tight end 2, and Devonta Smith is being disrespected as a wide receiver 3 in drafts. If anything, I think they're all fantastic values outside of AJ Brown going where he needs to go and Jalen Hurts going where he needs to go. Like, I'll push back about that. I think they're awesome values.
So if I'm looking at AJ Brown, he literally can go from 14 to 18, 14 to 20 range, right? I'd take every single wide receiver over him, next to him. And when I'm looking at Devonta Smith near DK Metcalf and Sutton,
would you rather real fast? Who are you taking over AJ Brown? Give me the names.
So if Drake London falls there, obviously T. Higgins, Lab McConkey, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba.
Whoa, you're taking go through those slower. Don't run through this list, Sleez. Don't run from it.
I'll do it again. If Drake London falls, which is rare, T. Higgins, Lab McConkey, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, possibly Devontae Adams.
Listen, man. I deal with this all the time, Dbro.
I don't like AJ Brown this year. I'm telling you. I made a $500 bet with Disco that Higgins is going to outproduce AJ Brown this year.
Who?
T. Higgins.
But you're okay. You're worried about AJ Brown and his health, and with T. Higgins, who's had hamstring injuries in every single season and is guaranteed to miss sometime.
I know he's been. It's a wild one.
It feels like you're fighting against yourself with that argument. And now my dog's acting like an idiot. My dog can't even deal with this AJ Brown.
I love that. I love that.
I just don't. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the year, man. I
mean, hold on. Here's the other thing. Ladd McConkey, how many targets are you projecting for him inside this offense with Keenan Allen added? You want to put? Oh, I can continue to poke holes. Tyreek Hill, you're sure that by week 6 he's not going full AB?
I'm going to say 100,
and he's not ripping off his jersey and walking off the field.
I'd rather take the risk on him.
You'd rather take the hold on. Whoa. You'd rather take the risk on Tyreek Hill over AJ Brown.
Yep.
Oh, no way. No way. You can't. I can't get down with it.
Yeah,
you tell me Devontae Adams, I get it. You were telling me Mike Evans, I get it.
Mike Evans.
Tyreek Hill, hell to the no. No.
Okay. One more pushback about Jalen Hurts. If you look at 10 of the 17 fantasy football related games and weeks that the Philadelphia Eagles played last year, they were winning by double figures in 10 out of the 17 fantasy football. That defense has gotten significantly worse. Darius Slay gone, CJ Gardner-Johnson gone, Milton Williams also gone. You look at their pass rush, Josh Sweat gone to Arizona. All their defense is no longer closers. Saquon Barkley's not going to get the volume to close, and we all know that the likelihood of somebody getting hurt is whoever led the league in touches the year prior. So the passing game has to be more efficient, and Jalen Hurts as a rusher has to be more of a focal point because the volume and the opportunity, especially in the fourth quarter production, where he didn't have to produce in 10 out of 17 fantasy implicated games last year, it just screams like he's going to outproduce his ADP and his value incredibly. He's easily a league winner. I think you're not drafting him where you're getting fair return. You're getting one of the better returns on investment at elite quarterback. He should be the stop at elite quarterback. He's my QB3.
I mean, the other thing I'll say to add on top of this is the Eagles had the 6th most plays last year, leading by 7 or more points. That also, I believe that's going to be something that. Well, I can't teleport it here. Thanks. I get an energy drink delivered from the wife. I was like, I can't grab it. I don't have Stretch Armstrong on. I know. But no, looking at this, like they ran the 6 most plays from leading by 7 or more points. Like out of all of the regression pieces of this, they're going to throw more. And the other thing about it is if their defense takes a step back, they're also not going to be leading as much, especially in the second half of games, where if you look at the second half of games, this team had a 39.6% passing rate. Like that is insane.
And you think Kevin Paluto is going to raise this up better than Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore was there for 1 year, and that was the worst passing year ever, just for what it's worth.
They didn't have to.
Yeah, but they're going to have to
again.
But they're going to have to.
With all of this being said, too, Jalen Hurts still scored 21.3 fantasy points per game, and he was the QB6. And I'm pretty sure that sample also includes one of the games where he left early. If you just look at, and I'll pull it up real fast, if you look at the full games he played, that number is even higher.
I mean, if you're just looking at efficiency plus explosiveness and you pair it with volume, it only makes sense.
I mean, is there ever going to be, I guess I'd push back with this. Is there ever going to be a point where that push is figured out and Jalen Hurts is outside the top 12 quarterback like he would be?
The only way they'll figure it out is if they ban it.
Yeah, and to this point, so weeks 1 through 15, where he played all the snaps and stuff, like Jalen Hurts was the QB3 with 22.5 points per game. And this is while, albeit throwing a league low amount of passing attempts, and he only had 18 passing touchdowns.
Right, which is crazy.
Like, if we ever get a season, and I'm not going to rule it out from this season, if A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devonta Smith stay healthy, if we get a season where Jalen Hurts does what he does on the ground, and he throws for 30 passing touchdowns, he's legit going to break fantasy.
I mean, look at what happened in the Super Bowl. If you quantify his production against a good run D, where their running game was inefficient and not productive, you're looking at 30 fantasy points. He could give you that any and every single week. It doesn't matter about competition. You've seen it at the highest level, at the highest stage. So, I mean, yeah, and they were up by all of the points. So
I'm just gonna say, just remember when we come back to this, man. Just remember when the season's over. When we come back,
I'm totally ready to revisit this.
Dbro, where do you have Jalen Hurts ranked this year?
I mean, I've got him at QB 4 right now. So I mean, okay. I'm in lockstep. To be honest, though, like I wouldn't have a problem.
I think the Eagles fall apart this year,
dude. I can't get I can't get there. No, I can't get there.
Sleez, do you want to slide cameras where you could slide my camera over to Dbro so my face is being blocked, not Dbro's?
No, we're good.
How do you swap this?
Literally just click on my window and slide it over where Dbro's is.
No, you can block my face. People don't want to see this ugly mug.
Click on your window.
Yeah. So
second of all, I get a chance to do this.
I don't know. I'm not a master at it. Just let it go. It's fine.
So, all right. So you hate Jalen
I'll let you. Yeah.
So am I tossing next?
Toss anyone you want. Yeah.
Okay. So am I tossing this to you, Sleez, or to you, Disco, or just
Disco?
The group?
And then we'll battle.
Disco. I am out on Jonathan Taylor this year. Like so I can't get behind it. The problems with his efficiency fall off. The problems with the quarterbacks. He doesn't have a pass game role. Worries about the offense just in general. You tell me, are you with me on this, or do you hate this?
So I will say this, right? My rationale for being in on Jonathan Taylor has nothing to do with statistics, and it's very seldom that I make a bet that is not a non-analytical statistical bet. My bet on Jonathan Taylor is the Jim Irsay, we're doing it for the old skipper kind of narrative and tour. You look at the volume, he's going to need to run the ball a heck of a lot when healthy and when in the lineup. Obviously, half of his offensive line is blocking in Minnesota, but when healthy and when in the lineup, down the stretch in your fantasy football lineups, he was a league winner, putting up elite, top productive numbers, top 5 numbers in fantasy football for your fantasy football championships. I look at the volume as long as he stays healthy, and that should be the contingency with anybody and everybody. But as long as he stays healthy, and I believe he's going to stay healthy, and he's going to do it for the old skipper, I cannot see a world where he doesn't outperform his ADP with Daniel Jones as his quarterback. There's no world and planet where that's not going to happen. I do like the plug-and-play guys that they brought in as well to replace the 2 offensive linemen who have vacated. Those guys were okay, by the way. They were like Ryan Kelly, just okay. I want to say above. Like if we're ranking all 32 starting centers last year, I want to say he was ranked 16th. Will Fries, that guy sucks. He's like my 22nd ranked guard from that position last year. So the guys that they brought in to replace him, I don't think are the worst off with the guys. I just think that their draft and their salary cap has improved drastically by letting 2 volatile guys go.
All right. Sleez, where you at on him?
I've been out on Jonathan Taylor all year. He knows this. When you tell me all year long with players that you don't like to draft players that are injured, this has been a line you've used for 2 to 3 years, or almost 2 years now with us on shows. This man hasn't been healthy one season since 2021. And now you look at their situation. Everyone's telling me they're going to pound the rock with him and they're going to give 300 plus touches again. Looking at him staying healthy in that situation, I don't see the Colts being ahead where they can pound the run late in the game. He's never seen over 40 receptions since his number 1 season. He's never seen over 20 since then. I mean, 28 in 2022 was his best. He's not a great pass catching back. I think. But
let me ask you: have you ever seen him finish? Have you ever seen him finish as an RB1?
He finished RB1 in 2021.
Okay, so that's within his range of nut outcomes. Anywhere between where he's being drafted and that nut outcome is something that I'm fully confident in buying and drafting and getting a fair or positive return on investment.
I will hope James is in here listening to this. I do not think Jonathan Taylor is going to be anywhere near his ADP. I have zero faith in him this year. Zero.
I got him as RB 13 right now, so I know that I'm below consensus. I do believe that I do worry about the ankle injuries because he's played 11, 10, and 14 games of the last 3 years. I think the pass game role utility is real, and people are like, yeah, but They quote these splits of Jonathan Taylor with Joe Flacco and stuff. It's like, do we all understand too that all of these splits that everybody keeps going to of last year don't include Tyler freaking Warren in that offense, where these two guys are going to operate in the same area of the field? So people can miss me with their pro JT splits in the passing game when I'm like, it's just noise to me. Like, I'm like, you're using something to prop up an argument that doesn't make any sense considering the constitution of this offense right now.
So Tyler Warren, does he mean that there's less players in the box or more players in the box with his ability downfield?
It's Daniel Jones at quarterback.
It depends.
There's always more.
But his ability downfield doesn't matter that much when Daniel Jones isn't going to sit there and throw into tight windows, and Daniel Jones is not great.
I mean, I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. I'm drafting him, and I'm drafting him as much as I possibly can in rounds 2 and 3 around the bend, because I think you're going to get nothing but great return on investment.
Okay, so I just put it like this. Do you like Jonathan Taylor over Bucky Irving or Josh Jacobs?
No.
I have him ranked behind Josh Jacobs and ahead of Bucky, yes.
Ooh, I like both of them better.
Same.
Okay, fire it away, Disco. Let me hear it.
Let's go, Disco.
Rip one up.
All right.
Which, by the way, anybody watching or listening to this at home, no notes.
This
no
is
cap.
acapella.
Like, we walked into this, and this is just ripping it off the edge, man. Like, we're just pulling these and ripping. So,
all right. So, Sleez, the vast majority of the fantasy football community is all in on the Rome Odunze sophomore year explosion as a fantasy football producer. Everybody I know and their mother, but you. Okay. Now, I know that you're a Luther Burden truther. What are the splits? What kind of numbers can we look at in terms of the differences between fantasy production and elite production in your lineups and not fantasy production? And where are you willing to draft Luther Burden and where are you willing not to draft Luther Burden?
So we got into this argument yesterday on stream. I think that Luther Burden is going to out-target.
I wasn't part of this argument, by the way.
I know you weren't. I think he's going to out-target Rome Odunze this year. I think that's why Ben.
You think
Johnson
Luther Burden is?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Even with the 2 splits versus the slot splits, I get it. I get all of that. I think they're going to run more 3 wide receiver sets than 2 wide receiver sets this year, anyways. Or they could do, your Cole Kmet, Colston Love and 12 personnel out there as well. But I just look at this guy, and he should have not fallen this far in the draft. If it was 2023, kind of like an Ollie Gordon situation, he'd have gone way higher. And you give this guy any separation, he's going to destroy every single person, just like he said in his little interview. And I think he's going to be the Amon-Ra 2.0. I think that's why they went and got him. And I do not buy the Rome Odunze couple camp hype, electric catches over top. I just don't see Rome Odunze cracking 100 targets. They're going to utilize DJ Moore in every single way this year out the backfield. He's going to be their motion guy that they move everywhere. And Ben Johnson is that's the players he loves. He doesn't love the big, tall, 6'4", go jump, get him wide receivers. He likes the gadget guys that move around that make his play calling electric. And I just do not like Rome Odunze at value this year.
I love no cap Max comment right there. It just shares everything that he says. You're killing me, Smalls. Just to summarize, you're killing me, Smalls. Dbro, what's your pushback there? And I think the best thing would be if you reversed the order coming back. That way, everybody got everybody. I think that would be fun. But please, Dbro, what's your pushback on?
Dude, I'm not in on Luther Burden at all. I mean, we're talking about a wide receiver who's still not even a starter in his own offense right now. Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be at the gate week 1 starting over Luther Burden. And I'm not going to tell you that's going to happen for the entirety of the year.
God, stop it.
Did I just say? I said it's not going to happen for the entirety of the year. But it is notable when all the vibes are coming out of camp and Ben Johnson is kind of feeding Luther Burden to the wolves in the media and talking about he's not lining up right. And I know those vibes have gotten better, but that's where we were at not too long ago. The thing about Luther Burden, and I'm a known Luther Burden hater from prospect season. Dude, give me the guys where you can go ask them to go out, like whether it's in the perimeter, on the slot, all this different stuff. Give me the guys that you ask them to go route up guys, and you just ask them to go play ball. You can miss me with a lot of these manufactured touch guys and stuff like that. And for me, what I missed with Luther Burden, and the reason I'm not in on him, is it's not so much a Luther Burden problem. It's an archetype of that wide receiver problem. When people talk to me about, Luther Burden's got awesome movement skills. Movement skills don't make you an awesome route runner. Those are two totally different conversations to me. Saying you have good movement skills and saying you are a good route runner are very, very different conversations. And you cannot assume that somebody is has good movement skills will become a good route runner. It's different. And with Luther Burden, dude, his entire usage at Missouri, and I'll even go back and I'll double down on this and say, like, if he'd have come out in 2023, I don't care. It wouldn't have made him a better prospect. It would have helped his draft capital because of his counting stats, but it wouldn't have made him a better prospect because he got utilized the same way in both freaking years, where we're talking about a slot dominant player. He played 81 to 85% of his routes in college out of the slot. It was all manufactured gimme stuff where they're putting him in bunch formations. They're sending him in motion. They're using him in handoff.
But that's why he's versatile to Ben Johnson, because that's not
versatility. That's not versatility. That is a player that needs design targets, because if you ask him to go out there and route dudes up with his route running, he can't do it. And not because he couldn't get there. He's never been asked to do it. And all the Ben Johnson steam and all the stuff about all of that. I'm not going to say this guy is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not all this like this role, that role, whatever role. Well, targets are earned. They are a reflection of talent, and volume is earned in an offense. People can miss me with all these roles, and Colston Loveland's going in the Sam Laporta role. Okay, he plays tight end. Those two players are not the same. Luther Burden is not the same player as Amon-Ra St. Brown to me. Not even close. You're looking.
You would think Rome Odunze is more?
No, never said that. I don't think there is an Amon-Ra St. Brown on that roster. DJ Moore is about the closest thing they have to, and he's not even perfect at it. Like, I look at the Chicago Bears offense, and I think you're talking about a player that's going to get squeezed for volume. And if they run a lot more 12 and 21 personnel, he's going to get squeezed for routes. Luther Burden could easily be Chicago's version of Jaden Reed, where he is capped at a 60 to 65% route share if they run a lot of 12 and 21 personnel. And if that is the case, he's going to be very, very Jaden Reed, and that he has to run hot on touchdowns to even be a wide receiver 3, because if he doesn't have an 80 to 90% route per drop back rate, it's going to cap his target volume. It's going to cap his upside. It's going to cap everything about him. And that's even when he gets on the field. So Luther Burden, it's just this archetype of wide receiver, this manufactured touch, put him in space and let him go to work. When has this worked out over the last few years? Rondell Moore, hell no. Andy Isabella, hell no. Malachi Corley. I heard Malachi Corley was just a baller by Steve Smith and everybody the hell else, and I was never in, and everybody's like, oh, he's going to be awesome. Did that work out? Hell no. Malachi Corley is fighting for a depth chart spot with the Jets right now. So people can miss me with the Luther Burden hype. Sleez, I love you. I'm out.
6 foot 206, Luther Burden, 6 foot 202. Amon-Ra St. Brown, same archetype.
Outside, but in their
played slot all the way through college.
Outside of that, what are we talking? Like, Amon-Ra was not a slot receiver the entirety of college.
What was played on the perimeter stats last year?
All right, I'm going to tag myself in this. Okay, I'm going to tag myself in this because I feel like I stirred the pot. So let's play a little game, since this is my question for both of you folks. Okay, This game is, how many passing yards are we projecting Caleb Williams to throw for this year? Dbro, go ahead.
Not nearly enough to support all these damn weapons.
Give me a number.
3,800.
So still not 4,000. Sleez, what about you?
I'm going to say he breaks the 4,000 for the first time in Chicago.
Okay, even if he does break 4,000, I'm along with Dbro in his rationale, and it's kind of why it's not like it's an avoid for me, but you can't really project any of their floors, because on any given Sunday, especially in redraft format, you can't really tell who's going to be the guy. It could be Cole Kmet, it could be freaking Colston Loveland, it could be Luther Burden, DJ Moore, it could be even Olamide Zacchaeus, a name that I absolutely butchered. What I do know is this. I think Caleb Williams is going to be the safest pick in that offense. And then I think the second safest pick in that offense is your guy, my guy, Dbro's guy. Who is it, Dbro?
Mananga.
Kyle Mananga. It's your guy, my guy, Kyle Mananga. Come on,
sorry.
Man.
I was like, what?
Wake up. Drink your Monster Energy.
Oh, I got to get caffeine in me, dude. I'm sorry.
Get it in.
All right. So here's the question. What was Amon-Ra's snap in the slot last year percentage?
Extreme, like probably 70%.
Okay, so
we weren't talking about that. You were talking about we were talking about Amon-Ra the player also. What was the snap percentage in the slot in college?
Not a lot, but that's he wasn't in Ben Johnson's system then.
Well, first of all, let's correct something. This is not Ben Johnson's system. This is Dan Campbell's system. because Dan Campbell, you're making faces at me, Disco.
I would say Ben Johnson.
How is this Ben Johnson system when Ben Johnson came to the Detroit Lions? Everybody misses this point, dude. Dan Campbell is an offensive-minded head coach. He was a freaking tight end. He was an offensive-minded head coach. He's still an offensive-minded head coach. Everybody talks about him in this realm like he doesn't have anything to do with the offense. He was an offensive system guy. He's always been that. Just because he has the rah, rub it dirt on it kind of mentality, everybody thinks that he is not an offensive-minded head coach. Like, so this is not Ben Johnson's system. Ben Johnson gets a lot of credit for all of this stuff.
He's not the architect?
Were the Detroit Lions a really good offense before Ben Johnson got there? Tell me that. Yes or no?
Not even close to the numbers they put up once.
Were they a really good offense? Yes or no?
They're decent.
I would say no.
Decent?
I would say no. They were okay. They were middle of the pack. They were nothing to write home about. If you look at the scheme that Ben Johnson did prior to going to Detroit, the play systems, the system, the play calling.
I do remember who called plays for Detroit after Anthony Lynn was gone, right?
No.
Dan Campbell.
Oh, he was the play caller the year after?
He was after Anthony Lynn got fired in the middle of the season.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recall that off the top of my head. But when you look at the system and the plays that were successful and the scheme, you look at what Ben Johnson did prior in his offensive coaching career and why he was such a highly touted, and you saw the exact same scheme, the exact same system. So yeah, I would say that we are not giving Dan Campbell enough credit, but I also don't think that you're giving any credence to how incredible of a play caller Ben Johnson actually is. And I think he schemed Jared Goff into fantasy football relevancy as well, for what it's worth.
I think the narrative on Dan Campbell is wrong. I'll say that with my chest.
I mean, I respect it wholeheartedly.
The other thing we haven't talked about Luther Burden too is everybody's expecting Caleb Williams to take this massive step forward. We're talking about a quarterback we have never even seen support one really good fantasy weapon. One. And now people expect him to support
the situation last year was awful all the way around.
Dude, it wasn't just a situation. Let's give some stuff at Caleb's feet. Like, we need to lay this at Caleb's feet. Caleb Williams played awful last year.
DJ Moore,
like, outside of Shane Waldron, outside of any of that.
I feel like the energy and the vibe coming into this camp is like you kind of have to baby Luther Burden. You kind of have to baby Caleb Williams. You kind of have to baby, that entire offense in terms of coming forward. Like, the fact that they produced against a Buffalo Bills secondary doesn't make me really bullish on them because it's preseason against nothing but backups.
Dude, and all of that stuff, did y'all watch the All 22? It was like 2 steps, rip, 3-step, rip.
Yeah.
First read, guys wide open. That ain't how it's going to be like the entire NFL season.
I think this scheme and this system and this marriage is going to be good. I think we're just a year too early right now. So once again, that's not a passing offense I want to commit to completely. I'll get Caleb Williams because I think at his value, you're going to get fair to positive return on investment. But other than that, like Kyle Monunga is the only guy who I find really intriguing and I think has the safest upside out of them all, respectfully.
I mean, I'll say I'm pretty much out on all the Bears at cost right now. And I'm fine with that.
That's why I like Luther Burden. He's the cheapest one.
Well, the cheapest one doesn't make him them making the best one, and it doesn't make him great.
Okay, so where do you put Roma Dunze on target, receptions, and wide receiver overall this year?
I've got him as a wide receiver 4. If he outproduces that, like I'm not in on Rome like at cost. Like
at fifth round, right? It's crazy.
I'm just not in on him. Like I loved Roma Dunze as a prospect. I can't find a statistical reason to love Rome anywhere that I look, like up and down his profile. Like, you can't go to any of the metrics. Caleb tanked the offense, so toss out yards per route run, toss out all of those different things. If you look at just the things that Rome could have controlled last year, again, amongst 112 qualifying wide receivers, he was 78th in separation, 54th in route win rate. Those are things that are agnostic of Caleb Williams. Those are still not good numbers, man.
Waldron,
like they're okay, but they're not good.
The Bears were just in for a nightmare last year, in my opinion, too. So, I mean,
it's fair.
All right, so we'll move on here. I'll fire one back at Disco here. I've been thinking about this one. I was going to give you one that you've already talked about a lot this year, but we'll switch it up. Tell me, and now that we got everybody here, and I want everyone to hear this, tell me why you have Matthew Golden outproducing every single rookie in this fantasy football class this year.
Woo!
I did, Dbro. That's not the first time you heard it. You definitely heard this before.
I'm saying this over the people at home, Disco. You don't have to sit here and give them all the bells and whistles and tell them.
Okay, so
I'm
if
trying
you
to
look
be
at
surprised.
so if you look at there's several reasons, right? Obviously, Dbro's, because we've had this conversation before. Dbro's going to say, well, even though he ran a 4.29, he looks slower on the field than he runs. And at the end of the day, a 4.29 is a 4.29 ultimately. I also believe this guy is
clock whenever you're already running.
I believe this guy is a yards after the catch savant. He's whatever. He ran a 4.29. You can't take away from that from the dude. He's a yards after the catch savant. I believe he's special after the catch. If you look at every explosive passing metric, or almost every explosive passing metric last year collegiately, he had 25 plus receptions in Texas every single game. His last game for the University of Texas was his best. And then you look at everything that Jordan Love and that Matt LaFleur offense does. Jordan Love is a top 5 explosive passer in almost every passing metric that you could possibly want and desire. You put those two together, he's the true alpha wide receiver 1 in that room. You give him that yak opportunity, that touchdown chunk play opportunity with a run game that's going to demand multiple players in the box, stack boxes, which means more one-on-ones for him to win, either in yak situations or just deep ball situations. No matter how you cut it, as long as Josh Jacobs is healthy and that run game is going to be good, Matthew Golden's going to be fine in the end zone a heck of a lot of times. And I'm here for all the smoke. He's my wide receiver 15. He's my number 1 ranked rookie this year. I haven't wavered, and I'm going to continue not to waver.
Did you just say you have him at wide receiver 15?
Yeah.
He's my wide receiver 15 in my rankings. Do you want to see my player exposures in best ball?
I mean, I'm sure they're over the moon, bro.
Hell yeah.
Wide receiver 15, you're getting you got what, 65% Matthew Golden?
I wish it was that high, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to project these numbers and then draft just 5% of him.
Yeah, no, I get it. What are you at, 30%?
I want to say closer to 25% because I get sniped a heck of a lot. But let me pull up the exact numbers. All I know is it's probably 10 times the amount of exposure Sleez has to Travis Hunter, for what it's worth.
Oh, the shade! The science shade. On his way out the door, the man slapped the guy and kept walking, just didn't even break stride.
So I have him at 27%, and here's the wild thing, right? His ADP is 68.8. My ADP for him is 78.4. So 27% shares, well over 120 shares of him.
Well, speaking of exposures, the Travion Henderson truther, I own way more, so we can fire that back as well if you want.
I have 17% Travion Henderson. That's well over the amount of any sort of exposure that you should have to anybody. So 15% is a lot. Right, it's important to be contrarian in basketball.
But back to the situation here.
I love my Zamir White exposure last year, 50%.
Man, so all right, we're gonna have a convo about Golden, and I'm also gonna tell you how you're wrong about this, and Romeo Dobbs is gonna lead them in everything we're seeing.
Oh my god!
So
you know what?
Matthew Golden, for everything that Disco lays out here, is still a player with a collegiate career yards per route run of 1.85. He only generated 5.6 yak every reception. He broke no more than 10 tackles in any season in his collegiate career. In Texas, he didn't break out until the back half of the season, which was mainly in 2 of his final 3 games. Before those two of those final 3 games, Matthew Golden, the monster, never had more than 90 receiving yards in any collegiate game in his final season. It wasn't until Isaiah Bond got hurt and was basically exiled from the offense that Golden blew up. Not only that, if you go back to Houston in 2022 and 2023, Matthew Golden was not even close to being the wide receiver 1. I think a man that by the name of Tank Dell was back there. So Matthew Golden.
That's the Pat Fitzmaurice argument. I've heard it all before, but please keep going.
Yeah, so and not only this, the alpha level production of Matthew Golden, he leaves a little bit to be desired whenever he only had a target on 18.7% of his routes in college. That's not near the target earning profile that I want to see out of a guy. And I'm going to double down on this, telling you why Romeo Dobbs is going to be that dude. First of all, him and Golden are going to be the only full-time wide receivers that are not coming off the field in that offense. So let's get that out of the way. It ain't Jaden Reed. It ain't none of these other scrubs. You look at Romeo Doubs, and he quietly pops in everything that I care about. You look at what he did last year, first downs per route run. Amongst 85 qualifying receivers, he was 25th. Or excuse me, he was 25th in yards per route run. First downs per route run, he was also awesome. He was 25th in that as well. You look at per route metrics from fantasy points data amongst 112 qualifying receivers, Romeo Doubs, 11th in separation, second in route win rate, behind only freaking Mike Evans. These are all quietly awesome numbers. Now we get a healthy Jordan Love. Not only that, Romeo Doubs led the team in target share last year and first read share. And oh my Lord, he was also their guy in the red zone and the end zone. This is Romeo Doubs' breakout season.
He led over red zone targets in Christian Watson's little time. Did he? I don't know. Christian Watson's a red zone monster. Did he?
Listen, when Dontavian Wicks is the guy who is out targeting everybody and anybody in that room, we know what you are, we know what you have been, and we'll know what you continue to be. There's a reason why the fans there in Green Bay are so desperate for a replacement or wide receiver, and why they're so grateful that it's Matthew Golden. Now, let's take a step back to one of your rebuttals. You alluded to that there was a no-name producer prior to him going to the University of Texas. What was the reason for him missing time for starters? Because there is missed time that you're not allocating in your statistical projections. There was personal issues and there was physical injury issues. That's why his numbers were so insignificant. Secondly, to go to Huhaim's rebuttal, which is my prime rebuttal. Who was the freaking quarterback for the University of Texas?
I mean, Randy Moss
like you might as well be catching passes from Mac Jones, and like at the end of the day, Quinn Ewers is not a serviceable college quarterback.
I won't disagree with you. Quinn Ewers is not great.
He's not a serviceable NFL quarterback. He won't even be serviceable in the CFL. So if we're just holding the targets and the target quality and him doing, like, he was efficient, he was explosive, and he did it with dirt. So imagine what he's going to do with a cannon of an arm and a guy who finally has two legs in Jordan Love. At the end of the day, guys, I respect both of you. I'm going to bet and draft like I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'll own it and I'll say it with my chest. But I'm going to bet and draft like I'm right. I gave you guys my reasons. And now it's my turn to ask Dbro a question.
Oh, dear Lord.
Before you do, who was Randy Moss's college quarterback?
Good Lord. This is a deep poll, homie.
Who gives a shit about your college quarterback? If you can produce, you can produce.
Can I out Disco as maybe being a quiet Texas homer because he's got so much love for Matthew Golden and Xavier Worthy this year? Can I just quietly out him as that? Where are you at on Adonai Mitchell?
Where am I on Adonai Mitchell? I think he's
I'm just joking. I'm just outing.
I think he's a great round 20 dart throw. I'll sprinkle him in as a round 20 dart throw. I probably have just as much shares of Adonai as I do.
Do you have 20% exposure in Isaiah Bond too?
I have zero Isaiah Bond. A zero Bond. The problems were very concerning. Okay, now you and I have gone back and forth about this player time and time again. Derek Brown.
Where you're gonna go?
Which player?
Hold on. Go ahead. Set it up. Do your thing. I know.
Well, no. I just want to know who you're thinking, so I could go with the other one because I have two right now. So we've gone back and forth.
Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. Is that where
it has nothing to do with them? I'm so glad that you said that because that wasn't even one of the options.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I saw you wind it up, and I was like, oh shit.
So I had just recently posted my top 5 wide receivers who will give you negative return on investment and break your hearts in fantasy football.
Now I know where you're going. So
in that video, I reiterate how if you look at the article written by PFF called something about the volatility of turning 32 years old and eventually falling off of a cliff when you turn 32 years old. Mike Evans turns 32 years old before the season kicks off. I believe his birthday's either soon or it's going to happen within the next week. With that being said, can you rationalize drafting him as the wide receiver 17, knowing fully well that he has missed 3 games plus in the last 2 years and his ADOT has dropped significantly? And if so, why? And who are you drafting him ahead of?
Well, so first of all, let's correct one falsehood here. He has not missed 3 games or more in each of the last 2 years. In 2023, he played 17 games. So he
didn't miss 3 games with a hamstring in 2023?
No, nope. I'm looking at 17 games played, unless I'm wrong here. Hold up. Unless I'm wrong here, unless I'm Nope, he was 17 games, 2023, homie.
Yep. I see
and since 2020, the maligned and injured Mike Evans, 16 games, 16 games, 15 games, 17 games. Last year, 14 games. There we go. Also, Mr. Mike Evans, who Disco just hates, last year, amongst all wide receivers, at least 200 routes run. 4th in route win rate.
Correction. He left games early, even though he started.
Okay. So he has not fallen off at all as far as a route runner. Last year, again, amongst all wide receivers, at least 200 routes. 5th in yards per route run, 4th in route win rate, 2nd in separation. Those are still elite numbers. I am totally fine with buying or being out on guys that are showing us that Father Time is knocking on that door. He's knocking on that door. That's why you ain't going to catch me drafting Tyreek Hill. Sure as hell not as a wide receiver 1 this year. Nope, not going to happen. Mike Evans, still in on it because he hasn't shown the statistical fall off that I'm worried about with a guy his age. And so that's why I'm still in on him, and I'm still in on Devontae Adams at cost. I want to be above cost because neither one of those guys have fallen off. Mike Evans doesn't get near his due as a route runner. Like, people are like, oh, he's a big clasher and stuff like that. Bro, he puts guys on skates. He's still one of the best route runners in the NFL.
I feel like a lot of his production last year was like force fed, so we can keep up the narrative that he's really good at football and he's getting
out. He was the wide receiver 5. With Chris Godwin out last year, he was the wide receiver 5 in fantasy points per game. Who's not going to start the year fully healthy? And we don't even know if we're going to see a healthy version of him this season.
You know how many shares I have of Chris Godwin, just to add to your point?
Yep.
0.
Yeah.
0. But you know who I have outproducing both of them? Emeka Egbuka. So I am in on Emeka Egbuka, 40 picks after ADP going off the board as wide receiver 44, because you're going to get not only the positive.
I've bumped up Egbuka a ton. I'm not going to push back on you about Egbuka whenever Jalen McMillan I don't know when we see that dude.
Yeah,
he might be out the whole year. Like, and I'm not forecasting that. Like, I don't want to see him sidelined, but his neck injury is not good. He's going to be out at least until their bye.
Now, a little sidebar and a little side point, and just for all the people who are listening and watching, with the Chris Godwin situation, with the Jalen McMillan situation, obviously you have Emeka Egbuka and Mike Evans. They're both really, really good picks and somebody that you should pick up. But if you are already drafted, Cade Otton's available in more than 63% of your leagues, and he's going to get some opportunity, especially with their starting left tackle, all-pro left tackle. Tristan Wirf's going to be on the pup for the first 4 to 6 weeks. He's going to get a lot of volume in dink and dunk situations just because they're going to need that equity. Pick him up right now and then sell him high, okay? Cade Otton is going to be a very valuable tight end asset to start off your season. Just a little sidebar there.
I've got a little pushback here on this one, and I'm not as high on Mike Evans. I know he produces, but I mean, you don't think they're going to slow him down a little bit? Like, he played 71.2% of snaps last year. He's 32. You think the Bucs they're contending this year?
Why would they?
He ran the.
Chris Godwin is out. Jalen McMillan is out.
I know.
They're leaning on outside of Mike Evans and they
knocking on that door, man.
You think Sterling Shepard?
411.
Sterling Shepard.
But
Tez.
He did put up really good numbers for the routes he ran. He was only 50th in routes ran last year. So, I mean,
yeah, because
he was number 7 for fantasy points per route run, which is amazing.
Mike Evans is going to do the same thing he's done for over the last few years. He's going to get anywhere between 11 and 1,200 receiving yards, and he's going to score double-digit touchdowns, and everybody at the end of the year is going to say, damn, he was such a good value.
I mean, I'm done doubting him. I just don't like him this year at ADP.
Oh, I'm going to continue to doubt him, and I'm going to continue to bet against him. But once again, I respect everybody's opinion. I know he's a diehard Mike Evans truther. I am not. But at the end of the day, there's nobody I admire and respect more than Derek Brown in the industry. Yesterday, I had somebody pop into my.
You love Sleez more than me.
No, fuck that guy. Yesterday, I had somebody pop in my chat saying like,
"Gonna go there."
Dude, it's past 8:30 p.m. We're unhinged. Yesterday, I had somebody pop in my chat saying, do you see the fantasy receipts going after Derek Brown? And like I turned
Oh
into
yeah, they got me, then they got you. They went double Derek, huh? Back to back.
I turned into a stone cold killer when I said, if anybody talks bad about my friend Derek Brown, I'm gonna come for your fucking throat. I'm gonna find out who you are, and I'm gonna fucking kill you because like I went dead, like I went into a stone cold killer, man. You don't talk about
Disco had Zamir White as a
him.
top 5 running back, and they came after me for Zamir White.
Dude, they got me last year. Derek Brown knows that they got me last year because I asked him, did I make it as a fantasy?
I was in on Zamir. I'll own the L on that. Well, I'm totally fine with people.
It's fantasy football. We have misses. Like I'm going to continue miss, which brings me to my next icebreaker, right? If the fantasy football genie at the Fantasy Football Expo next year meets you and he says, you need to sing one song word for word and not get it wrong, not a single lyric, not a single note, not get it wrong, and all of your fantasy football takes will come true for the upcoming season, what song is that?
For me?
For both of you.
Ooh. God, this is such a good question.
If I had to sing
one song, word for word, that you're not going to mess up at all.
I'm going to go really random here. I say random, but I'm going to go with
Sing for the Moment, Eminem.
All right, I'm going to go.
You don't got to use the Google, man. Say it with your heart.
I was looking at the name of the song. I'm going to go Forgotten One by a metal band that I listen to called Times of Grace. I could sing that damn thing with my soul.
I respect it. Anything by Creed, I could definitely do.
Higher. Yeah, I could easily rip
higher. One Last Breath. You name that. Yeah. I got it. But the number one song that I could sing word for word and like hit every single note is Pictures by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. I love that jam. That's my jam. It's a great song.
Yep.
Anyways, Dbro, you got to ask the other Derek.
Am I tossing now?
Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left. Fire away. We'll try and get some questions here from the chat. If you guys got questions here, fire away at the end here while we're breaking it down here. What do you got for me?
Please. I'm just going to bring up another guy. Like, I'm not drafting Tyreek Hill this year at his cost. I'm out. He can go full AB by week 7. You saw going to Father Time knocking on a door, dude. Last year, Tyreek Hill, when Tua was on the field, was wide receiver 24 in fantasy points per game. He was 34th in target share, 36th in yards per route run, 33rd in receiving yards per game. All these are wide receiver 3 metrics outside of the fantasy points.
You don't throw it to the injury with the wrist all year?
What,
you don't think that has a
factor to it? How he gets open? Tell me that.
No, his legs definitely.
I mean, dude's not running on his hands.
I get that. I mean, he's a tough one. I'm willing to take the risk on him.
He's being drafted as a wide receiver 1 right now, and people pretend like last year didn't even happen.
I don't know if he's drafted as wide receiver 1. We just did our 14.
His EDP is wide receiver. Yes.
I got him at 42 in our 14 men. So
yeah, but like currently, if you're looking at consensus PPR formats, whether it be best ball or just redraft rankings, he's going off the board around the
drafters right now. He's the wide receiver 14.
Yeah, he's going off the
best ball ADP, like across best ball 10s, RT Sports, Underdog, Drafters, DraftKings. He is wide receiver 14, 11, 12, 14, and 13.
Yeah, he's going in the middle, like he's going ahead of your guy Garrett Wilson. He's going ahead of your guy T. Higgins.
Consensus 29th overall. This dude is a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, 2nd, 3rd round around the bend. Yeah, he's going.
I will adamantly say with my chest, hell. Okay,
here we go.
No,
here we go.
So is there a region or how far will he fall, or is there like a limit as to how far he'll fall?
He won't fall far enough for me.
So where would you draft him?
42. Would you take him there where I got him in the redraft? Here, 42.
I'm pulling up my ranks right now. I've got him at 49. So yes, if he fell as far as you have him in the 40s, depending on my team build and who is there, I would consider him. But the thing is, he ain't fallen that far in any other room. Like, I think that was a solo incident.
Okay. So I guess I'm pushed back like this. Jonnu Smith, their security blanket that popped off in garbage time last year. He's gone. You have Darren Waller now, who's Rap City out there. I'm not buying that he's going to be that impactful in the Dolphins game. And look at my guy, Devon A-Chain's injury right now. The calf injury has me nervous. Will they push it to Ollie Gordon with their not great offensive run line? Will they push it to Jalen Wright, who's looked terrible so far in the preseason? I know it's preseason. They're going to have to pass more in this offense. And if Tua stays out there healthy, this is a team that's going to be playing from behind probably all year long. And if Tyreek Hill can get his mind out of the gutter, he's got 9,000 children to pay for. He's got a contract that's coming up in 2026. He needs to, I mean, who knows if he plays any longer? He's 31, 32, how that contract looks. I am in on buying players like volume. Like they don't like Jerry Jeudy, right? People will tell me you don't like Jerry Jeudy. They're not going to be playing from ahead either. And the passing volume, if Tyreek Hill is out there, this is something you have to buy into. And I know Jalen Waddle looks good too. That's why I've been targeting Waddle a lot in drafts. I love Waddle this year too. I know he's scary, but he's that guy that if he's out there for 17 games like CMC and you miss on, he could destroy people in fantasy football.
I think we're living in yesteryear Tyreek Hill production, thinking he can destroy. I'm fine taking that gamble with 31-year-old wide receiver who has fallen off in his metrics. And honestly,
one year.
Last year.
I know 1 year he fell off. 1 year. He's been
exactly when he was 31, dude.
He's been a top 2 wide receiver for 6 years.
Fast. It comes really fast.
So, Sleez, can I ask you a question? What makes Tyreek Hill as good as he can be and has been in the past? What quality does he have that has made him good and an explosive player?
Speed.
Okay, so speed. And
how did he lost his speed? The guy just ran like 24 miles an hour in a clip.
It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying.
Fast guys can stay fast. It's
his ability to take the deep one and house it, correct? The speed. Yes, it's his ability to take the deep one and house it. For that, he needs his quarterback to need to have at least 2.3 seconds of pass protecting time in order to get rid of the rock to feed him the ball where he needs to do so. With that being said,
let you run 24 miles an hour and get
that being said, their offensive line got significantly worse, and I'm not going to be one of those boneheads who says, "Oh, well, they lost their left tackle. Teron Armstead retired. That's his blind side is no longer protected." Shocker! Tua Tagovailoa is a freaking lefty, and his blind side is the right side. Please stop talking O-line. Leave it for the big dogs, okay? At the end of the day, he needs time. The offensive line has not improved, so all the plays that makes him fantasy significant and relevant are not going to be there because there's no time. It always starts with the front. It always ends with the front. And at the end of the day, they did not make enough improvements to make Tyreek Hill significant in what he does. Tyreek Hill will only be significant if he gets traded.
So let's do the A/B ticker, okay? Let's run down the Dolphins schedule, and you tell me, Disco, I'll throw this to you. You tell me when does Tyreek Hill go full AB, okay? And we're just going to go, do they win or we're going to stack up wins and losses for the Dolphins, okay? Yeah, I'm leaving Sleez out of this because I want to see him twist over this. All right.
They have a top 12 easy schedule.
All right. Indy, Miami, win or loss?
Win. It's going to be a win.
Okay, so 1-0.
And they explode week 1 in fantasy.
New England.
Win. Oh, it's a loss.
Okay, 1-1. Buffalo.
Loss.
1-2. New York Jets.
Loss.
Still good. Okay, so 1-3. Disco. All
Loss.
right. Carolina Panthers.
Loss.
1-4. Los Angeles Chargers.
Loss.
1-5. Cleveland Browns. All right, we'll give them that. 2-5.
No, that's a loss as well. Because here's the thing that not a lot of people are paying attention to the Miami Dolphins.
Please just walk off.
I mean, and that's probably when Tyreek Hill's also going to walk off. That's the same.
Sorry, Sleez. Were you doing your best Tyreek Hill impression?
Because that's what's going to happen. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the offense. It has everything to do with the fact that offense cannot keep up with what that defensive backroom is going to allow. That defensive backroom has lost 6 significant potential
starters.
That
means more offensive passing production.
They're going to get the passing opportunity, but if there's no time to connect deep, it's going to be a dumpster fire, just like it was last year. There was plenty of opportunity where they were playing from behind last year, but now it's just going to be even worse. It's going to be a toxic scenario, and Tyreek Hill will only be significant in fantasy if he gets traded. That's the only way he'll be significant.
I don't understand how you could be in on Tyreek Hill and out on Mike Evans. I can't square that.
I'm not fully out. I just don't trust Mike Evans.
But you trust Tyreek Hill?
I trust Tyreek Hill for a bounce back. Yes,
I just don't like either one. No. I don't like either one. I'm not here with either one of them.
So hang on. Let me run this back. Let me run this back with the schedule. You literally told me that they're going to lose to teams that are absolute trash right now, and you gave him a 1-5 start.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't see that.
Out of the first 7 games, I'll tell you.
I think they beat Indy. I think they beat New England at home. I think they beat the Jets.
You think they beat New England?
Yep.
I don't think they beat New England.
You're out your fucking mind.
I'll say that they're not
so
beating New England. Not with the
and I'm
defense.
not saying this as a diehard New England Patriots fan, but you just lost any sort of credentials you had ever in the history of ever saying that Miami Dolphins is going to beat the New England Patriots.
See that man's shirt.
We'll see.
Disrespectful.
We'll see. I mean, you try to tell me that the Seattle Seahawks are going to run over Robert Saleh and the 49ers defense.
Hell yeah, they are. They're going to dominate them. And Kenneth Walker's going to go crazy.
In the preseason?
Kenneth Walker is going to go absolutely nuclear, and your run defense has not improved at all. Kenneth Walker is going to dominate that game. The time of possession, Clint Kubiak's outside zone scheme paired with his efficiency and explosiveness as an outside zone runner is going to dominate and spank your fucking San Francisco 49ers. And to add insult to injury, you're also out on Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is going to easily be a top 10 running back as his floor, and there's no injury contingency because it's a fucking it's a contract year, so he's going to play through all that shit. Get out of here. I almost used a Dbro line. Miss me with that bullshit. As a Canadian, just doesn't miss me boot that, eh?
Miss me. Wait, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Miss me boot that, eh?
I got a $10 super chat from George. I'll let you guys answer the same thing. How do you feel about Ricky Pearsall this year? I love Ricky Pearsall.
Love Ricky Pearsall. Love him. I got him up. I bumped him up today to wide receiver 28. I love Ricky P.
I have a 23. I think
dude,
he's top 24.
I went back and watched all of his all 22 on Sunday from his preseason so far. His route running looks better. He's crisper in and out of his breaks. There's one specific play, and I brought this up on another show earlier today, where he's running a crosser against zone, and you're seeing him slowly drift. Purdy gets out of the pocket, and Pearsall, and this goes to continuity and learning and growing. He stops and he sits down in the middle of the zone, where if he'd kept running the crosser, he'd have gotten washed out in the zone coverage. He stops in the middle of it, sits down in the zone, and Purdy hits him. That's continuity, and that's reps this summer coming through for Ricky P and Purdy connection.
I had Juan Jennings as the one, but this calf.
Pearsall, baby. Pearsall.
Can't get behind it anymore.
100 foot for you, baby. We're talking about a former first-round pick in the NFL draft that blew up in his last 2 games of the season when the 49ers said, can you answer the bell and be a guy we can lean on next year? And Ricky P at the end of last year said, hell yes. And now we're going up against Brandon Ayuk. We don't know if he's going to be healthy this season. We got a 27-year-old fourth-year breakout who's now 28. Now he's chirping about a contract. Now he's got a calf injury. Nah, man. It's Ricky P.
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, they're not comfortable leaving and saying goodbye to Debo Samuel unless they have, plans for Ricky Pearsall.
You got to feel good about that.
You have to feel good about Ricky Pearsall to let go what was deemed once upon a time the heart and soul of your entire offense and your entire organization. With that being said, I like Ricky P, but still for me, I think the safest bet in fantasy football across all positions has got to be George Kittle.
You ain't going to talk me in George Kittle. I'm totally
across the board, people are like, oh, is it Cowing? Is it DeMarcus Robinson? Is it no? The answer is just George
Kittle. Now you're going to get
Bowers, Dbro.
Yeah, I mean, like the Sky. I saw the Sky Moore in the chat earlier, guys. Just save your fab. Honestly, let your idiot league mates do it. Save your fab, please.
Kittle or Dbro? Kittle or Bowers?
Huh?
Kittle or Bowers?
Kittle. Kittle's my tight end 2 over Bowers. I have tight end 3. Bowers is tight end 3, and this ain't
Stop
Bowers.
Jocking my shit. That's exactly what I have as well.
McBride is my tight end 1. Been here, still here.
I like that. All right, we got 2 minutes left here on the show. It's been amazing. 15 of you out there on Twitter. Thank you for all the new subs on YouTube. I'm sorry we didn't get to the questions. It was just a straight banter back and forth. While we got 2 minutes left here, what I want to hear from each one of you guys is give me a sleeper past ADP 150 who is going to be relevant in fantasy football this year that you're targeting heavily.
Oh, my Lord.
That's a deep
past 150. Ooh.
And you can't say Brandon Allen no more.
Well, I mean, like, obviously, the easy answer for me is Demario Douglas, but I want to challenge myself here. Past 150.
I like it. I'll go with mine that I like a lot. I'm buying heavy into Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm very worried about Malik Neighbors. I'm very worried about the Giants' schedule.
Is that with Russell Wilson as quarterback?
I don't care who it is. The guy's a target hog.
Okay.
I like Wan'Dale a lot past 150.
I mean, I'm seeing Pat Bryant here. I love Pat Bryant as a wide receiver 2 in an offense that's absolutely going to be humming with a legitimate running back 1 there in RG Harvey, where they can actually pass, and Cortland Sutton could be viable. He's going to get one-on-one coverages, and I think he's going to win one-on-one coverages. They went up and got him, and they're going to continue to feed him, and he's going to be absolutely spectacular and special. That's why they were comfortable. And Dan, I tried to tell you this. If you're listening, Dan, God bless you. I tried to tell you this. Devon Vele was never the answer. Neither was Troy Franklin. It's freaking Pat Bryant. Dude's a stud. He's a baller.
That's traded for a 4th round pick, Devon Vele, sir.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Listen, man. What the
New Orleans Saints dealing for a 2nd-year, 28-year-old wide receiver and giving him a 4th round pick. This is in a nutshell why I've given up hope on this franchise.
What the New Orleans Saints do is between them and Jesus, because I think they had to.
No, Jesus not even stamping that trade.
Well, I mean, they had to sell their soul to get the Super Bowl, and since then they've been screwed over left, right, and center in every sort of bad call.
Troy Franklin's look good though in the preseason too.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's tough not to look good in the preseason.
I know.
Well, that's it.
Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt's going for first rounds from the preseason. So
even my guy Nathan.
Hey, there's no Bill shade here. Okay, thank you very much. Not standing for any kind of Bill shade here. Sleez, keep it in the guardrails, sir.
You're a Bills fan?
No, Bill.
I'm a Bill.
JCM.
I'm a Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt fan.
Oh, JCM, love him.
Yeah,
love him. Love him.
It's season of Bill.
Love him. Why do you guys call him Bill? I don't understand.
That's what he wants
I'm
to
not
be
calling
called.
him Bill. He wants everybody to, that's been his nickname.
Like dollar bill, y'all.
Like BILL, like Bill.
Like I hear Bill, I think Belichick. There's only one Bill.
Bill Clinton. Yes, Bill.
No, it's Bill Belichick. That's the only Bill. Bill Clinton's been surpassed long
season of Bill. I'm here for.
All right, who you got for me, Dbro?
I'll toss my sleeper here. Joshua Palmer, baby.
Ooh.
He crushed from every single per route metric that I care about. You look at Keon Coleman's role in this offense last year. They drafted him to be the man coverage beater. His target per route run was 27% versus man coverage, 14% versus zone. And if you look at Joshua Palmer, he was top 12 in every single per route metric that I can find. Separation, route win rate. You go to that, you switch that to man coverage. Same thing Josh Palmer crushes. I'm saying right now, Joshua Palmer is going to be their man coverage go-to. That's why they signed him. It's not Keon Coleman. This has been one of the problems with the Buffalo Bills offense over the last 3 years. The last 3 years, the Buffalo Bills have faced top 5 rates of man coverage in every single freaking year, and they haven't had an answer for it. Joshua Palmer is that answer this year. He is live to be running neck and neck with Khalil Shakir for the team leading targets this year.
You know what else is good about Joshua Palmer? He's a Canadian.
I was like, is he Canadian? Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Is he really?
He is. So I will say this: if you look at Keon Coleman and the role he had last year, 23% targets in man-to-man defense in the red zone. If anything happens to Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer is next up in that role.
Palmer's
as the wide receiver.
Bro. He's taking that job already.
You think so?
I do. Yeah,
I mean, I have been sprinkling him in best ball, but nevertheless, my bet has been Khalil Shakir, and it'll continue to be Khalil Shakir just because I like his floor in PPR format.
I'm out on Keon.
That's crazy, man. I'm on Keon. You're on Shakir. You're on Josh Palmer. Wow. Welcome to the show.
Arnie Palmer alert.
Arnie Palmer alert.
We don't have any Elijah Moore stands in this room, though, so at least there's that.
I do like Curtis Samuel.
So
I love Curtis. No, I like Curtis Samuel. I've been sprinkling him in, I swear.
All right, guys, everyone in the chat, thank you guys for watching. It's been an amazing episode. I love battling. You guys are welcome back anytime. I'm going to post this tweet of all the takes of this. I want to bookmark it and come back to it to see what it is, because I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to fall apart this year. Man, it's a gut feeling, baby. And I will catch you guys. Disco, go ahead.
My running backs video, my top 24 rankings video, literally just went live. Please go watch it. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Big Draft Energy. I had to get that shameless self-plug and promo. We're grinding hard here, fellas.
I'm going to grab the link right here for you guys. I'm going to grab it real quick. Thumbnails on point. Smash a like. Copy the link here. Make sure you guys check this out. If you're in the chat, make sure you smash a subscription, a like on the video. Support my guy, my partner, my brother, Dbro. Absolute pleasure meeting you at the expo. Amazing to have you on the show. Welcome anytime. Here, let me plug this in here.
Much love.
Dude, I love battling it out like that. I like that better than drafting by a mile. Just so you guys know.
It's fun, bro.
In season, it's nice.
Just banter, baby.
I like drafting.
All right, guys. That's it for us. We're out. I'll catch you guys live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, right before Big Draft Energy show. That will be 7 p.m. Eastern. And peace.